Alternative 3 relates the details of the assassination of scientist Sir William Ballantyne by Laser Hotjob, quoting Professor Hubert Radwell, who gave evidence at the Ballantyne inquest. Quote, Ballantyne's body was not merely burned, it was reduced to little more than cinders and scorched bones. His skull had shrunken because of the intense heat to which he had been subjected, and yet his clothing was hardly damaged. A real parallel to laser hotjobs are other secret plans of the Nazis in the last days of World War II. Albert Speer, in the Inside the Third Reich, relates that in April 1945 he was told by Robert Ley, Germany's Minister for Labor, that the country possessed a death ray. That's from Hot Jobs and Crop Circles in Jim Keith's book, Mind Control and UFOs, a casebook on Alternative 3. This is an Adventures Unlimited Press book. Hello and welcome to another edition of The Stench of Truth. Wow, wild fluctuation in the markets today. This following on the heels of the Greek crisis, the impending implosion of Portugal and Spain as well. We're talking about the sovereign debt crisis. And why should there be a sovereign debt crisis in the first place? Why should any country be put at the mercy of fucking banks? For the benefit of paying out banks, for worthless motherfucking paper. I say, fuck the IMF. I'm glad that the Greeks refuse to accept this situation. The austerity that's being forced on them, so that they can be given money to then give to banks to pay off worthless fucking paper, and to have the people suffer the consequences, which is always the end fucking result. So we have wild fluctuations in the markets today. The Dow plunging over 800 points at one point, but the SPP jumped in, the plunge protection team. They may yet save the day. They're not going to bring it back to where it was, but they're certainly not going to let it stand as being the worst single point loss in the history of the stock market. So, at least your leaders in Washington, D.C. are still doing something, although whether they should be doing that or not is another question entirely. Considering that the Federal Reserve already gave trillions of fucking dollars to the banks and finance institutions who were completely on the brink and still are on the brink of fucking bankruptcy, and you have banks in this country who are still refusing to lend fucking money to anybody after having been given trillions, tens of trillions of dollars from the Federal Reserve. Imagine the dominoes falling, people. Greece, Portugal, Spain, and then outward from there. We're not going to be untouched by this, as evidenced by the stock market, which is going to have ripple effects elsewhere. Understand something. A big change is coming. It's still in the works. The financial catastrophe that started in 2008, well, it was building up before then, but the financial catastrophe that officially began in 2008 has not come to an end. And for those who still preach the recession is over and things are looking up, you need to really think twice about that. And I'm going to tell you right now. What should we do? The same thing we always do. We should demand some accountability, and we should also put our fucking feet down and tell everybody who's going to listen to us, tell the government, tell all of their representatives that we will not accept fucking austerity forced down our throats because we're going to be given money, quote unquote, to pay off worthless fucking derivative paper shit from the banks. So good for you, Greece. I'm glad you're having a wider impact. And when Portugal and Spain fall, which won't be too long from now, it's going to have a bigger impact on the fucking markets and the entire world fucking economy. And talk about putting a wrench in the fucking works. This is what needs to be done. Get us out of the entanglements. Remove us from free trade agreements, the World Trade Organization. Let everybody stand or fall on their own rather than having everybody interlock together so everything crumbles to fucking nothing. Get some production back in this motherfucking country. And quit allowing these companies to pull everything out and go overseas and pay 10 cents an hour to somebody who has to work 15 hours a day. Simple fucking solutions. Demand accountability and tell the bankers, fuck you, and tell the IMF to go fuck itself, just like Greece is doing. Thank you, Greece. And thank you. Good night.